when you're the talk of the town, you're going to have individuals out there who will love nothing more than to nitpick and find every little nook and cranny to try to demonize you, desecrate your name, and destroy you all for the benefit of the program. And in that, Jason Whitlock has made it his mission to try to find every little nook and cranny, to try to find every little detail he can nitpick off of and run with that so that way he can go to the airwaves and demonize head coach Deion Sanders. Now, I've been on this guy for the time ever I started my YouTube channel, and I'm not going to stop talking about Jason Whitlock. I'm not going to stop calling out this buffoon for what he is and for what he's doing. So for the few of you leeches and the few of you ticks and lice out there that want to hang off my nutsack because I'm calling this Bama out for the shit he's doing, well, guess what? I'm going to hold a master class on how to shave you leeches and you lice and you crabs off my nuts because I'm not going to stop. And you're going to keep coming back here and trying to destroy and diminish my name for going at this Bama for the shit he's doing. I'm not going to stop. Now, in the latest attempt by Jason Whitlock to try to demonize and discredit and diminish the name of head coach Deion Sanders, he's going at Deion Sanders for targeting white reporters and white coaches. I don't know, maybe because those are the same people that were shitting on him, you stupid fuck. This is a transcript from Fox Sports in which Fatmouth said this when it came to the whole Deion Sanders situation at Florida State. Deion Sanders talked about then Florida State assistant coach Kendall Browse not showing Deion's son Shador enough attention while at FSU football camp while he was in high school. This is what Deion said. We went to a camp of a certain school and a certain coordinator, but we just played against TCU. He's the offensive coordinator. He was at the school, and we went to the school for camp, and he didn't pay him no attention. I don't even think he barely spoke to him. He just pushed him off to the side. I went and told somebody, say, hey, man, there ain't no way to treat him. That's not right. He told me about 20 minutes after the little situation happened, he said, Dad, we will never come back here again. To which Jason Whitlock said this. He's not a kid that they were interested in. They were interested in him. This is a tactic by Deion. He's clever with what he's doing. Willie Taggart, a black coach, was the coach when Kendall Browse was at Florida State. Deion doesn't want to throw Willie under the bus. He found a white coach to throw under the bus, Kendall Browse. When you're dealing with a kid with Shador's talent and his dad's connection to the university, you got a LeVar Ball type situation, but instead of LeVar Ball being some guy who just played some small time college basketball and averaged 1 point, you're talking about one of the greatest players in the history of football, played at Florida State. Now he's there. Now he's here with this kid with some serious talent. There's a likelihood that Willie Taggart say, hey, man, we got to be careful with how we deal with Deion's kid. No one makes a mistake. Let me do all the engagement with Deion and his son. Let me keep you out of it. I just want you to be responsible. I don't want you to say the wrong thing. Deion is temperamental and blah, blah, blah. I can almost guarantee that those were the instructions to the assistant coaches. I got this. This is a volatile situation. It's Deion. Deion wants to be the coach here. Handle this. Deion needing to throw Ed Werder under the bus, Kendall Browse under the bus, and white people in general under the bus, so black people feel good about Deion taking his talents to a predominantly white school. And I got 75% black kids in my locker room. It's all a gimmick. No, Jason Whitlock, you're the gimmick. You're the gimmick. Okay? I'm pretty sure if Deion Sanders was pulling all these strings, he would have been at Florida State. You are a fucking carcinogen, okay? To call you a bacteria is not enough, Jason Whitlock. You are a carcinogen in the highest degree. So all that stuff people say about Deion Sanders, right? Is it true? Is it true? Or you guys just reaching to create some headlines for yourselves? This is why I do what I do, to counteract these counterfeit narratives that's being put out here. Okay? You're always railing on the man for something. If it ain't this, it's that. If it ain't that, it's this. What's your deal? Huh? What's your deal? What's the end game for all this stuff you're doing to Deion Sanders, huh? And all this stuff you're saying about him. What's the end game? Because there has to be an end game. At this point, you're just throwing shit on the wall to see what sticks. It's all a gimmick. So it must be a good gimmick considering that Colorado's 2-0 right now. So it must be something good to that gimmick. But the problem is, head coach Deion Sanders ain't running no gimmick. That's the thing that you can't handle. That's the truth that you are having a difficult time swallowing, motherfucker. What head coach Deion Sanders is doing is no gimmick. It is a tried and true testament to the work ethic and the commitment to excellence that he has on a daily basis. That's the truth of the matter. I don't hear you going off about how Matt Rule was using the transfer portal. I don't hear you going off about how Nick Saban was talking shit about Deion Sanders and all that. So let me get this straight. All these people, right? Whether it be Ed Werder, whether it be yourself, whether it be Nick Saban, whether it be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Panthers, all these people could come out and say whatever they want to say about head coach Deion Sanders with impunity, right? And he's supposed to just take it. He's supposed to just turn the other cheek, keep his head down, and just keep on going. He's supposed to just, well, it just comes with the territory, and I'm just fortunate to be here in this situation, and I'm just happy, and I love this opportunity, and I love this opportunity for my kids and all that. Get the fuck out of here with all that bullshit. Okay? He is who he is. You don't like who he is. You don't like what he's about. Because he's everything you're not. You call yourself to be fearless, but you're so fearless that when we confront you about the stuff you say, you tuck your tail and run like a little bitch. But you're fearless, right? Now you're out here flagging people for bullying because, oh, the big bad wolf can't take when the pressure's being put on him. You're a bitch. You understand me? You're a bitch ass, whole ass, fucking house nigga. Yeah, you got thoughts, I got thoughts too. How about doing this for once? Tell the truth in your fucking life. How about that? Let's try that. How about actually telling the truth of what the situation is. The truth of the matter is, you got all these brothers going out to Colorado to support head coach Deion Sanders. Why your fat gelatinous ass didn't take your ass on a first-class Delta flight over there? Huh? You call yourself supporting the brotherhood? You want to call yourself supporting the brother? Why didn't you take your fat ass over to Colorado to support head coach Deion Sanders? No, that's not your DNA. Your DNA is to find any prominent black figure and demonize them all for some milk-bone dog biscuits. That's your fucking MO, you fat nigga. All these black athletes and entertainers and who have you were over there. One person that was not was you. But you sitting there been talking about brotherhood and what black folks supposed to be like. This ain't the fucking 1950s, dude. You black conservatives get on my fucking nerves. Don't worry, you black liberals are just as bad too. I ain't got no love for you neither. But this thing that Jason Whitlock is on right now is beyond disgusting. It's dishonorable and it's disrespectful. What's up, Double Tech? And then the shit you're saying has no merit. You don't have no evidence to back up the shit you're saying. That's what's most infuriating. Here we have a brother that we can, and Deion Sanders, that we can get behind. The man's been coaching these kids since they were little. He's bringing them into their houses, taking them from boys and transforming them into men. That is something that could be respected. That's something that could be honored. That's something that could be held in high regard. But no, your fat ass would sit in front of a camera behind the fence of death measure, wherever equal chamber or wherever toilet you at, not in Tennessee, and want to sit here and talk shit every chance you get. Oh, because it's a gimmick. No, motherfucker, you're the gimmick. Because what Deion is doing is tried and true. What he's saying is tried and true. Unlike you got to change stuff up every once in a while just to fit a narrative in. When I think of head coach Deion Sanders, I think of him as a rock. When I think of your fat ass, it's not more than Play-Doh. Because see, you can't change a rock, but you can change Play-Doh. You can manipulate Play-Doh to be whatever you want it to be. If you want this Play-Doh made out of clay to be a car, well, shit, you can take that Play-Doh and make a car. If you want this Play-Doh to be a man, well, guess what? You can take that Play-Doh and make a man out of it. It's always changing based on the circumstances and the thoughts of the individual at the time. You can't change a rock. The rock is like it's like the truth. You can't change it. No matter how much you try to bang on it, no matter how much you try to put holes in it, no matter what you try to do to that rock is going to hold itself steady. And that's what Deion is. That's what you're not, you fat fuck. You got nerve to call yourself flagging videos for someone bullying you. Well, you can't handle it. You can't handle the fact that people calling you out for the stuff you're saying. What's your end game? Huh? What's your end game? Because you are not a truth teller. You are a narrative pusher. So what's the end game? You trying to pray for Deion's downfall so that way you can go on your little YouTube channel and talk about, oh, see, I told you so. I told you Deion was a fraud. I told you Deion was this. I told you he wasn't steady. All this shit so you can have a I told you so moment, right? Some shit that's going to go viral for 1 or 2 days, right? That's your end game. I told you, I'm not going to stop putting my foot in your ass because it's way past time that a few of us get on your ass for the stuff you're saying. You won't come down to these streets right here for us to confront you about it. No, you want to sit in your little echo chamber to where you have anybody that's going to agree with you, a few yes men, and maybe one or two contrarians, but not those contrarians that's going to push the needle, so to speak. No. But more often than not, your echo chamber is going to have a few buck dancing sellouts that'll sit up there and agree with every little thing you're saying. Or you're going to have some white supremacists that'll be like, Jason, yeah, you absolutely right, man. What you saying about black people is spot on. You's a faker, fraud, and a phony. And you can't live with your own self. You can't live with your own failure. So what you do, you find anybody, and I do mean anybody, to project your insecurities onto them. That's what people who fail in life, that's what they do. You want to understand why people get so mad and get so frustrated? You want to ask the question of, oh, well, what are they scared of? What is really causing them to act this way? And we know why Jason Whitlock is acting this way, because Deion Sanders has the one thing that Jason Whitlock do not have, and that is credibility. Just because a few people agree with you does not mean you have the credibility. You go around anybody that's been around head coach Deion Sanders and listen to what they say versus what Jason Whitlock says versus what Ed Werder says. You got Hall of Fame players. You got Brett Favre, who should be in fucking jail right now for stealing all that money out of Mississippi, talking up head coach Deion Sanders. What that tell you? And Brett Favre is a white supremacist with a silver spoon in his mouth being protected out in Mississippi. And he's bigging up head coach Deion Sanders, right? Anybody that's been around this man knows what this man about, knows how solid he is. So the people that have been around him, the people who interacted with him, the kids that interacted with him, all those people are saying the same thing. And Jason Whitlock is the one of a few contrarians coming out trying to stir the pot. What that tell you? Be careful with who and where you get your information from. You have to be very careful about that, because there's people out there with ulterior motives that would love nothing more than to put something out there that's false, that's not true, and what it does, it destroys, it diminishes, it demonizes, it throws shade, all that stuff. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Last but definitely not least, shouts out to the Mighty Lions Den basketball community. This your man. Scream at me. Hey!